Right ahead on 12 News, rethinking a park.
We'd like it to be more a regional draw. I mean, you have the dam, you have the river.
City and parks officials are looking for public input. Then a word of caution for two-wheelers.
A lot of it's riders running off the road in these single vehicle crashes, running off the road into curves.
The season is off to a dangerous start for motorcycles. But first, how a local shelter is taking precautions against dog flu. 12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. The first case of confirmed dog flu in the metro leads to new precautions.
The Animal Humane Society in Golden Valley is taking extra steps after a dog at its St. Paul facility was diagnosed with dog flu. Sonia Goins shows us what's being done to stop the spread.
We've had a confirmed case of H3N2 canine influenza.
Volunteers and caretakers at the Animal Humane Society are keeping a close eye on man's best friend, making sure these pooches don't show any signs of dog flu.
The problem with it is it's highly contagious.
Signs of canine influenza include cough, runny nose, and fever. It's spread from dog to dog by coughing or sneezing, or by a dog's direct contact with a contaminated surface.
Just like flu season for humans, you don't want to have that passing around.
Officials don't think any other canines have dog flu, but they aren't taking any chances. They're also checking to see if dogs show any signs of kennel cough.
There are about 30 dogs at this facility that have the so-called kennel cough. It's similar to a cold in humans, but these particular dogs are being kept in quarantine as a precaution.
And since kennel cough and the flu have similar symptoms, dogs are being tested.
We will be pulling swabs for all of them today and sending those out, and we'll have results on those next week, Tuesday.
The Animal Humane Society is also restricting day campers from getting too close to the canines.
Usually they get to interact with the puppies and the adult dogs, but on a temporary basis, we're eliminating that.
And employees will also have to temporarily leave their pet pooches at home.
Hopefully that we can contain this to being this dog in this community.
In Golden Valley, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Dogs are still being adopted out of all the Animal Humane Society facilities except St. Paul. With the official start of summer this weekend, it has already been a tragic season on the road for motorcycle riders.
And accidents are way up, and as Eric Nelson takes a look at why that's happening.
Right now it's prime riding season here in Minnesota.
The open road has a magnetic tug on motorcycle riders.
I'm a cowboy,
especially when the weather heats up.
on a steel time.
But this freedom sometimes comes with a cost.
Crashes happen due to driver error.
25 Minnesota riders have already died this year, including 5 since Saturday. That's a 56% jump from 2014. The carnage is alarming.
A lot of it's riders running off the road in these single vehicle crashes, running off the road in a curve. So it's very tragic to see that, and this is a bad year for it.
People don't realize how quickly things happen, and it's split seconds or fractions of a second that are life-changing.
There are some simple tips that motorcycle riders should follow to stay safe. Bikers should always wear a helmet, a protective jacket, and pants. They should also avoid drinking and driving. Most experts recommend even taking a safety training class so they can hone their riding abilities.
Riding on two wheels requires a lot of skill, and not everybody is really meant to be a motorcyclist.
There are 236,000 registered motorcycles in Minnesota, and the experts say that riders shouldn't take safety for granted.
You need to have a good strategy out there when you're riding.
I'm Eric Nelson for Channel 12 News.
Motorcycle riders are also encouraged to ride in the daylight and assume that other drivers don't see them. Motorcycle training classes begin next week at Hennepin Technical College in Brooklyn Park.
For the first time in 3 years, tuition will be going up at Minnesota's larger colleges this fall. But tuition at two-year colleges like North Hennepin Community College and Hennepin Technical College will continue to be frozen at its current level. And next year, rates at the smaller colleges will actually drop by 1%. Some tuition help came from a $100 million relief package passed in the recent legislative session.
Crystal police say a teenage runaway who has been missing since early May has been found safe and sound. 15-year-old Brian Aguilar Saldana was found in Mounds View after police put out a notice that they were looking for him. Because he's a minor, no other information is available. The Coon Rapids Dam has been under construction for more than a year, but dozens of people are still using the nearby regional park every day.
Reporter Shannon Slatton explains how a new partnership could revamp the park.
The Coon Rapids Dam Park, nestled by the Mississippi River in Brooklyn Park, offers the best of two worlds.
It's fun to be right near the city, but then also just have this nature.
It's a popular spot for hikers and bikers.
I like the natural pieces.
Yeah.
The river and dam are undoubtedly the main attraction.
It's a great place to take your kids. The kids get to have a great time. It's awesome. It's how you get to enjoy Minnesota, right here on the river.
But there's also picnic areas and trails to explore.
It's pretty any time of the year, whether it's winter or spring or fall.
Aside from construction on the dam itself, much here hasn't been changed in decades.
We'd like it to be more a regional draw. I mean, you have the dam, you have the river, and really it's almost like a neighborhood park.
That could soon change as Brooklyn Park and Three Rivers Park work together to update the master plan.
This park is such a beautiful amenity to this whole entire region. We really want to go and highlight it and also really find out from the community what they would like to happen at this park.
So for the next year, planners will be gathering input from the community on what's next for Coon Rapids Dam Park.
At the end of the day, we want something that celebrates nature.
Whether you have 5 seconds to spare or a longer time to give us more of your opinion, we want it and we need it, and this park desperately needs your attention too.
Park goers out on a sunny day
It's pretty fantastic the way it is.
say update what you must.
I hope a lot of this stays the same, especially on this side. I don't want it to be paved paths, anything like this. I like the natural look.
Yeah.
It feels more comfortable and, like it should be.
But let nature keep the starring role.
Don't tell too many people about this place because then everybody will come.
Yeah.
In Brooklyn Park, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
And look for opportunities for input at local festivals, including Tater Daze. There are also focus groups planned and a website to submit ideas.
And speaking of Tater Daze, it is day 2 of Brooklyn Park's annual festival. Opening day featured the first round of the festival's talent contest. The celebration kicked off Thursday night with a show called BP's Got Talent, where Brooklyn Park residents could showcase their collective skills. It's just one of many events taking place this weekend. In addition to the carnival, Saturday's events will feature a 5K run in the morning, a potato dressing contest in the afternoon, and a fireworks show in the evening. Also on Saturday, the Tater Daze parade begins at 11:30 in the morning, weather permitting. Well, coming up, they're back and marking a 10-year anniversary in the church basement.
And then a little bit later in sports, a couple of marksmen are set to represent Wayzata High School at the state clay target shooting tournament.
But first, it's the Father's Day weekend AccuWeather forecast. Fatherhood doesn't come with a manual. A father himself, local playwright Anthony Tunstall wrote, "I'm a deadbeat who?" about the struggles that he's seen young urban fathers face.
What I want to do is take this play and use it as a teaching tool to advocate for fathers. No matter where you at in your parenting, whether you just became a new father, or you've been a seasoned father, or you've been a pro father, you can always learn something. You can always transfer those skills to a younger father that's coming up.
Tunstall is presenting his play free of charge this Sunday at 5 p.m. at the Colin Powell Center in South Minneapolis. Well, it's been 10 years since the first time we saw the church basement ladies on stage.
That's right, and the ladies are still cooking up a storm in the church basement. Neil Persley has more in our weekend showcase.
Everything happens in the church basement. Hear those percolators burn.
It's back to the basement for the Church Basement Ladies' 10th anniversary. All your favorites are back, and they haven't aged a day. Well, maybe a little bit.
When we first started playing the roles, a couple of us were too young for the roles, and now we're like, well, smack dab, right the right age.
And I'm definitely older now than I was when we started, so I can identify with her journey, I think, a little, because it's closer to my own.
Because we've all aged a little bit, we bring a different flavor to our characters now that we've been with them for so long.
During the past decade, the actors have led their separate professional lives, but always kept in touch, and a close bond has formed between them.
And it's just like any family, we don't see each other all the time. Sometimes I don't see them for months, like my own family in Wisconsin.
So I'm just sort of coming back to visit my mom and all my favorite ladies who are all sort of like aunts and grandmothers to me.
I mean, there's a trust that you have to have sort of the chemistry, you know, and the relationships that we have. And you can't fake that, I don't think.
The fondness and the affection that we have for one another on stage is not manufactured. It is not fake in any way.
There were 4 Church Basement Ladies plays following the original, but some of the scenes in the first are classics.
A lot of the things that happen in Church Basement Ladies 1 are some of people's favorite moments.
So if the summer gets too hot for you, come on down to the basement and visit the ladies in the kitchen as they tell the tale that started it all.
It's sort of like, you know, going back to that movie that you love to watch over and over again. So we hope that that's the case with Church Basement Ladies 1 too.
For Weekend Showcase, I'm Neil Persley, 12 News.
Church Basement Ladies got an awful lot of food to prepare.
Church Basement Ladies is running now through November 15th at the Plymouth Playhouse. They had a nice long run. A lot of people love that show.
Everybody knows somebody like that, right?
Exactly.
Well, coming up, a local man didn't steal third base, but he has it sitting on his couch. We'll tell you why.
And up next in sports, the state's top baseball players are set for this weekend's All-Star Series. Jay Wilcox has that and more when we come back. Well, a great chance this weekend for baseball players who are graduating from high school to show what they have and play with other really good players.
Yeah, we've got a few real good ones from this area here too, and great to see them in action as they battle against the state's best. Some great ball players, including former Park Center star Tim Laudner and current Twins Joe Mauer and Glenn Perkins, have played in the Minnesota All-Star Baseball Series. Formerly called the Lions All-Star event, the 41st annual Play Ball Minnesota All-Star Tournament is underway in Chaska. The Metro West team starts play Friday night, and 4 local guys are on the team. Pitcher outfielder Jordan Kuznia of Armstrong, third baseman pitcher Ben Suits of Heritage Christian Academy, pitcher infielder Robbie Palkert of Hopkins, and outfielder Ben Mazenga of Totino Grace. It's a pretty good honor to be picked for this.
For me being a 1A guy, not many guys get picked for this, so for me to represent my school, my conference, my class, it's pretty cool to be out here with all these other great players.
The goal of it is to have fun and then just show what we have, but winning is a part of it too. We should hopefully win it.
While this all-star competition is mostly about having fun, the guys know they'll have to be at the top of their game against the elite competition.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good test. Everybody here can hit the ball. Everybody here can throw the ball. So, you know, you kind of weed out, you know, some of the loose ends, I guess, on each team. But now you're facing the best of the best. So it'll be interesting. It'll be fun. It's going to be, it'll really test you as a pitcher and as a hitter. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time.
And you can watch Metro West's first game on 12 Sports as they face the North All-Stars Friday night. It's live on the web via live stream at 12.tv. Catch the replays Saturday at 10 p.m. and Sunday at 4 and 7 p.m. on Channel 12. Metro West also plays at 12:30 and 6 p.m. on Saturday. Maple Grove had a strong high school baseball season. Many of those same players are playing for the Maple Grove Legion team, and they faced Brooklyn Park on Thursday night. In the bottom of the third, Maple Grove puts together a 2-out rally. Jaden Rolls' ground ball sneaks through. Isaac Collins hustles home for a 3-0 lead. Next up is Mason McMahon, and his hit brings Bubba Horton around. Maple Grove gets 4 in the frame, and they go up 5-0. The bottom of the sixth, Jordan Albers pokes a base hit up the middle, and it scores Brett Schultz. Then Josh Wendy drives it to the gap, and this one brings Albers around. That one makes it 9-1 Maple Grove. And this game ends in the bottom of the sixth when Horton cracks a 2-run homer to give Maple Grove an 11-1 victory. The state high school baseball and lacrosse tournaments wrapped up in the last week. The newest sport to be sanctioned by the high school league will go out with a bang this weekend.
Oh! A good season wraps up this weekend for clay target shooters Max Bunning and Andrew Rhodes of Wayzata. The Plymouth residents are in the State High School League's state meet.
I know we're both very excited for it. It's the top 100 people in the league shooting, so it should be really great, and hopefully we both do well.
It's been my best season, a lot of consistent shooting, high scores, and just it's been real good for the team too.
Oh!
Wayzata's team just missed out on qualifying for state by 1 target. 8th grader Bunning is second in the state in scoring average, hitting 24.7 of 25 targets. Junior Rhodes is also in the top 30. They've both been competing for the high school team for a few years now.
My dad read about the league in the Star Tribune, actually. He read Jim Sable started it, and we figured, wow, this would be really fun to do in 6th grade, so just started doing it, and it seemed like it was really fun, and more fun than playing Xbox and playing football, so.
Yeah, on the high school level, I think it's been growing exponentially ever since my start just a couple years ago. I mean, we've gone from just a couple kids on the team to dozens. It's great. I love it.
Max is ranked #1 nationally in his age group and travels a lot to shoot during the year. Both the Wayzata guys say willingness to practice a lot is the most important trait to have.
I think anyone can do it if you practice hard enough, but well, when I started, I was pretty good, but I don't attribute that to natural skill. I attribute that more to me hunting with my father as a child.
Max and Andrew are hoping to be on target this weekend. Competition is at Minneapolis Gun Club in Prior Lake. The individual competition begins at about 3 p.m. Saturday with teams starting at 9 a.m. and they did not miss much while we were out there, I know that.
Best of luck to them. Thanks a lot, Jay. Coming up, you could call him a Twins superfan.
We'll meet the man who owns third base. We'll explain in just a moment. And finally, there's a lot of excitement about the Twins' new rookie, Byron Buxton, but a Plymouth man is taking it to the next level.
This is the base that Buxton touched for his first major league hit.
That is the third base from the Twins versus Cardinals game Monday, where Byron Buxton got his first hit, a triple in St. Louis. Ryan Gilmer, a lifelong Twins fan who collects sports memorabilia, took a 2,200-mile road trip this past weekend, driving to Texas first to see Buxton's first game, then on to St. Louis, hoping to see Buxton's first hit. The stars aligned for Gilmer because he pre-bought the third base in St. Louis before the game, just hoping Buxton would get a hit.
When Buxton hit it and it was going over the center fielder's head, my first thought was, yes, he's got a triple. I've got that base. And my next thought was, nuts, he might get an inside the park home run because he's so fast.
Well, now that he's got that third base, Ryan is hoping to get Byron Buxton to sign it, and then he's going to frame it.
Wow,
So,
I didn't know you could buy third base.
and apparently with some clubs you can, but he did his research and pre-bought that, and the stars aligned, as we said.
Very good.
That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Community Corner is up next. Have a great weekend, everyone.